So in this session, we are going to learn about strings, string formatting, and some important functionalities that we can perform over string. String is a very important type to be used in any programming language. And let's first define a string. Let's say I have a string s is equal to hello. One thing to be noticed is that everything in Python is an object. So even the string, when we define this, becomes an object. If I want to see the type of s, this is the string type. Then since this is like an object, so any associated object will have many functions available which can modify it. So let's try to see some of the common functionalities on a string which will be used heavily. If we see, the helper is already prompting us, showing us many methods like capitalize, center, count, decode, find, format, index. Let's see some of the useful ones. S dot capitalize. So S dot capitalize will make the first letter capital and rest of the string is unaltered. So please note here that the moment I do S dot capitalize, the small h is changed to the capital H, but original string is unmodified. So I could have stored this modified string after S dot capitalize in another string or another variable and then proceed as desired. There's also a function s dot upper which will actually convert the whole string into uppercase. Similarly, we have s dot lower which will become converting this to entire lowercase. This is more prompt or visible when your string call, let's say s is equal to h is let's say capital. Then we have this case. Now if I do s dot lower, it does lowercase of all the alphabets. If this is my s, we have some more inbuilt functions. Let's say to check whether all are lowercase or not, so we can check is lower, which will give boolean true or false. Similarly, we have is upper. So is lower will give true only if all the letters are lowercase, and is upper will give true only if all the letters are uppercase in the string. So right now both of them will give false. Also, it's possible to print the string with some white spaces and justified formats. So I can write s dot write justify and in 12 spaces. So it leaves some spaces behind, and then there's the string here. So it write justified in 12 spaces. This way we have many functions which are available to be performed over the string. And now let's see some more on the string. If I have s is equal to bad a string, I can actually iterate it and do some functionality like we have been doing over list. So what is possible is to directly access s0, s1, s2 as if it's like list. But we should always remember that string is immutable. By immutable we mean you cannot change it. So we can access s2, but we cannot say s2 is equal to c, and this is an error. So we were actually trying to change or alter the string by saying s2 is equal to c, and it's of course not possible, and it says that str object does not support item assignment. So this proves to us an important concept that strings are immutable objects. Then, if we clearly remember our topic on the list slicing, we can even do that here. For that, let me take a bigger string. This is Python. And if I want to access from 1 till 5, I hope it's remembered that this will give from index 1 till index 4, and we have index 1, 2, 3, 4 till I, and I get the values. So like the way we were doing list slicing, even the portion of the string can be sliced in a similar format. From the beginning of a string, if I want till 4, which means from the beginning till index 3, I'll get it. All those things can be performed. Very simple. So two or three things to remember are that we are able to apply a lot of list functionalities on string objects, and there are a lot of inbuilt functions on string objects which are very useful to us. And one more important functionality, let's say we have a sentence here which is separated by spaces. Now if I want to convert this string to a list with an objective that each word in the string should become a separate element in the final list that I obtain. So one thing that can be done is the split operation. So if I take b is equal to a dot split, split can accept an argument specifying using what it has to be splitted, and if I choose to ignore, it splits by white spaces. So b is equal to a dot split will split the string a by white spaces, and this is what we get as a return. Of course, if you have such a list and you always wanted to get back the original string with one white spaces, it's possible to even do with a space. You do dot of join, so space dot join of b, and you get back the original string. Of course, it was our choice to use space as a joiner. If I use, let's say, percent dot join b, all the elements will be joined by percent. So these are some of the important functionalities of the string. We'll be learning more on these strings in our later sessions. Thank you.